Welcome, everyone, to Streamers Unplugged, from idea to impact, conversations with content creators. I'm your host, Cap Cabbage, joined here with co-host Snazzy Demeh, and this is our pilot episode. So, welcome in, Snazzy.
Yes.
We're super excited to be here and have this conversation.
Very excited.
About content creation and everything. And today's just us. We will be interviewing people in the future. If you want to be interviewed and our applications are still open, we've got links posted on our YouTube channel for that you can go to, which is youtube.com/@Streamers Unplugged. So a little bit about us. I've been creating content for, I don't know, since like 2016, I think I started. I don't know when you started. When did you start?
I started in 2018.
Okay.
And I started in 2018, and then I decided to hang up the video game streaming gloves in like 2020, 2021, something like that.
Yep. I'm still
very
trying.
happy to be back creating something.
It's fun. We're having a great time. So in this episode, we're going to talk about four main sections in this, and it's going to be, in general, what does it mean to be a streamer or be a content creator? What do you need to get started? And then what is content creation? There's all sorts of facets of content creation. And then we're going to talk about what it's like, because we've done it and we've been there and we've been through the struggles and the ups and downs. So with that, Snazzy, to you, what's a content creator? What does it mean to be a streamer?
Oh, that's such a good question. I like this question because it's so broad. But to break it down simply, it's just someone who's creating content for others to consume. Is the way I see content, a content creator. Now you have your different levels of that, right? You have, for instance, streaming video games. You have streaming just chatting, and you have people that are creating how-tos and YouTube videos, podcasts. You have, to me, that's what a content creator or a streamer is, put simply.
Yeah.
I'd
agree with that. And one thing that I'd add is that anyone who's posting on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, you're posting content, like technically you are a content creator. You may not be making money off of it, but then again, a lot of content creators aren't. And to be a streamer, it doesn't have to be you're streaming games on Twitch, right? You could be going live on Facebook. You could be going live on TikTok. Anytime you hit go live on whatever platform you're on, you're live streaming. So you're a streamer.
Yeah. Well, I think taking it back to what you said in the beginning there was, what was it? You were saying that if you're posting content at all, you're a content creator. I think it comes down to the purpose behind why you're posting content. Why are you posting that TikTok? Why are you posting that Instagram video or reel or Facebook video? What is the purpose behind it? So if it's just pictures of your family, probably not out there being a content creator. You're putting content out there, but you're not out there creating something for someone else to consume, except for your friends.
That's right.
But that's just a thought that struck me was, you're there. The purpose behind the posted content becomes the reason for the content creator, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because like the people that you're trying to reach really defines, I guess, your audience. Like you're saying, if you're posting just for family and stuff, like maybe you are a content creator to some degree, but you're mostly, if you're really looking to be a content creator and like your objective is like, I want to create content and go full time someday, I think that the intent is I want people all across the internet to find me and enjoy who I am, like my personality, or like what I'm posting. Hopefully, a combination of both of those things. Then that's what keeps them coming, and that's when you start building your community. And we're going to talk about building communities a ton on the podcast, because I'm sure almost everyone we talk to is going to have something different to say about about building a community and the struggles and really the ups and downs throughout that whole process. So
so a question for you, Cabbage.
Yeah.
What do you need to get started? Not only what do you need to get started, but what did you start with?
Okay. So my opinion on what you need to get started to do any kind of content creation, I'm going to pull a quote that I heard Markiplier say on one of his YouTube advice things. And it was, if you want to start creating content and you got a phone, just start with that. Like, you don't have to go buy, a $300 camera, a $200 mic, a bunch of lights, a bunch of backgrounds. Like, start with your phone and make content on it, especially with stuff like TikTok and short form content, which we could have a whole conversation on short form and long form content too. But for me, what did I start with? I started creating content on YouTube for Minecraft and other family friendly based games, cheap games, free games on Steam that I felt were family friendly and appropriate. And it all started on a laptop that I'm pretty sure didn't have a graphics card. It had enough to like record, but and if you don't know content creation, none of this is actually going to make sense. So take that with a grain of salt. But I had an Xbox that I streamed the Xbox to my computer in the like Xbox app. And then
the Xbox companion app.
Yeah. And then I recorded the Xbox content from there. And when I was recording Minecraft, because I was playing Minecraft on my computer, I would use the like window capture part of it to just capture the game. So that's what I started with. And I was using a free, I don't even remember what software I was using to like make the videos. Actually, I do. It was Vegas Movie Studio like 6 or something that I'd had for years and years, because in high school I would like we did random video projects. And I was like, well, we're doing video projects, so we need video project software. And it was on a CD. I think I might have sent it to my sister actually, because I wasn't using it anymore because I use Adobe and stuff now for things. So I think that's all I started for. Oh, and my Blue Snowball. I started my Blue Snowball, which I still have. And that was my first microphone, I think, because I bought that and used that. So what about you? What did you start with?
So I started with just my Xbox. When I started, Xbox was allowing you to stream directly to Twitch.
Oh yeah,
via the Xbox. So you download the Xbox, or you download the Twitch app, and then from there you'd be able to stream directly from your Xbox to Twitch. And so I did that with a gaming headset and my Xbox. And this curtain is actually the same curtain that I started with, because I streamed and create content in my living room.
Yeah.
And so that way everyone doesn't see the mess of my life behind the curtain. But no, it's true what Markiplier said, and the ability to create content is really just comes down to your willingness to grow and learn through those beginning phases, which are generally not. You generally don't start out with very nice stuff.
Yeah.
You generally start out with what you have, and that's what you should start out with, because it's going to give you a lot of well, first and foremost, I think it gives you a lot of gratitude later on for the nicer things.
It's true.
But it also teaches you that it's okay to make content with what you have, and you can make content. You can make some of the greatest content in the world was made on a cell phone.
Yeah.
You look
It's
at
true.
the guy on TikTok who is drinking cranberry juice, longboarding down the road, that went viral, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that one.
I haven't seen that one.
But he went mega viral. And all it was him listening to a song, recording himself, drinking cranberry juice, riding a longboard down the side of the road. And it went super viral. It was just done on a cell phone. He was so
and you never know. That's one thing. And we can talk about this in the like, can you be a content creator part, but like you never really know. But there is also a method to being successful, knowing what you're doing. There's like two different sides, I think, when you're getting started. It's like you're throwing stuff out there and hoping that some algorithm picks you up and it's like, yeah, let's go. But then other times it's like, well, you got to have, there's other things. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, I think. You were saying, I was going to ask, we're talking about what do you need to get started? So we've been at this for a while. We've learned a ton of stuff. I mean,
and still have a ton to learn.
If you want to get started, and this comes to like, what do you need to get started? You need to be willing to jump into what you don't know and try it. And trust me, you're going to make mistakes, but you got to just keep trying because you're going to learn. Like I was intimidated by OBS, which is what we're using to record. It's a streaming software, which a lot of people who do content are going to know what that is, but OBS Studio is a recording software. And it was scary. It was like, I don't want to touch that. Especially when I switched from where I was, which I was like just recording stuff straight to my computer. Whereas now I do live streams and then I'm also doing these types of recordings to my computer. So it's going to be scary and intimidating. And we can talk about that in the fourth section about this too.
Well, and it just comes down to jumping into it, right? You can't let the fear stop you from doing a little bit of research, and research helps a lot. There's a lot of how-to videos out there on what your best settings are if you have a lower quality internet, what your best settings are if you have a higher quality internet. A lot of times in the beginning, I would search to get my settings. I would literally search, what are the best settings for OBS for 50 megabit down internet?
Oh yeah.
And it would pop up a video that was made for me. And
it's wild.
Then there wasn't, then you're not messing with, the bit rate and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there's just, you can't let fear stop you from getting involved and really learning. I think Mr. Beast, who most people know who Mr. Beast is, but
massive, he probably top YouTuber. I don't know if he's the highest, but he's definitely he's getting there. Oh yeah, he's probably one of the highest YouTube content. I mean, just general content creator. He's way up there.
He said before he started making videos, he did a ton of research into what made a successful video. He just sat down and studied it.
Yeah.
And that's something you can do.
Yeah.
But you also need to be learning how to make those videos and learning how to get through the clunkiness of software and hardware and that sort of thing. So,
and you don't have to, when you're, getting started, how to get started. Like you don't need $60,000 to throw down and be like, hey, I gave away $10,000. Those are not the type of videos you can one day hope to make, those kind of videos, but you're not going to start out with those types of videos. Or, you see a lot of those things that are like 24 hours in a grocery store and sort of things like that. And you don't see what's going on behind the scenes with those videos.
Right.
A lot of those people got permission. I guarantee you a lot of them did. And they're like, hey, I'm a massive creator. And some stores probably said, nah, you can't do that here. But then they probably found one store that said, yeah, sure, whatever, that's cool. And they let them do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are on the internet that have a lot of background to them. And those are things that we're going to talk about here.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully
the
get
other thing
people
is
that do that.
yeah, and you don't need the $5,000 PC. You don't need all the capture cards and all that sort of stuff. It's there's simple ways to get started.
Yeah. I didn't buy my first capture card until maybe a year and a half ago for my Switch. So
yeah. I bought one so I could stream my Xbox to my PC when I got my PC,
which is way better than what I was doing. Way better than what I was doing.
Yeah. But I mean, it advances so quick too. The other side of that is it advances so quick. So, I mean, you started when 2016?
Yeah.
So there was 2 years difference between your start and my start. And my start happened, when Elgato was just coming on to being popular and that sort of thing. So,
and I didn't even know what Elgato was until recently. So because I wasn't looking for it really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those things, like if you're going to start, do some research and then go from there. We can get into more of the nitty gritty of that here in a minute. But I'd also wanted to talk about, like, just in general, what is content creation? Like, we talked about what it means to be a content creator, and we talked about, about getting started. But, like, how do you know, like, what content creation looks like to you? And that's a really wide question.
Yeah.
But
I think it comes back to a little bit of what I said earlier with it depends on what your purpose is behind the content.
Yeah.
Because if you're just out there sharing videos for your family to see, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Even sometimes those go viral. You never know. But the second you're starting making content with the purpose of creating an audience or creating something for someone to consume, I think that's what content creation. I think that's what content is. So whether it be how-to videos, live streaming your video games, live streaming your IRL, vlogs or that sort of thing. That's all content creation.
Yeah. And for me, like, I think a lot of people think, like, oh, well, if I'm going to be a content creator on Twitch, for example, massive streaming platform for now, like, they think, oh, I got to play video games. I got to say for now, because this may not be relevant.
You never know.
Yeah. But, like, some people think, oh, that's all that people want to watch live is video games. And that's not the case. Yes, gaming is huge part of content creation, 100%, like, big part of content creation. However, there are so many facets of what you could do for content creation. You can do, Bookstagram, you posting posts on Instagram about your travels or your food, which, do people still take pictures of their food? Is that still a thing that you do on Instagram?
I don't post it anywhere. I just have it in my phone.
I don't take pictures of my food. I did when I ate at a really fancy restaurant, but I never posted it. But content creation is whatever your brain wants to create and put out into the world. And what we're doing right here, this conversation and talking about content creation, and we're really passionate about content creation because we've been doing it for so long and we love it, and we want to talk to people who also love it and have people listen in who want to do content creation or just want to hear what it's all about and maybe learn something that they can apply. We would love to have a community of people, and their whole passion is varying forms of content creation. And you could be an author. That's content creation. It's not necessarily on the internet, but it's more and more on the internet than it was 10 years ago, because now you've got ebooks, you got audiobooks. photography is a content creation. Like, it's all content creation, and it's all about finding what you're passionate about. And I think that kind of segues us into like, can I be a content creator? Like,
Yeah.
what is it like to be a content creator, and can somebody do it starting today, right now?
Yes.
The short answer is yes.
Yeah. That's where I'm going to leave that. No, I think one of the biggest things with can I be a content creator, because that's a question that people ask.
Oh yeah,
pretty regularly, I think.
Yeah.
And the short answer, obviously, is yes. Anyone can be a content creator. Do you have a phone? If you don't have a phone, do you have a video camera? If you don't have a video camera, do you have an old school 8 megapixel tiny little video or picture?
Maybe not
that you
that
can take
old.
pictures. Listen,
maybe not that old.
Listen, I've seen some viral. That was going to be a good joke, but I can't remember the rest of it. But Polaroids, yeah, I've seen some viral Polaroids. That's the other half of the joke. Yeah, they go really well in the mail. But
you can only send Polaroids to one person. He's kidding everyone.
Maybe.
But you could take pictures of your Polaroids and put them on Instagram, and it could be your whole aesthetic. True. Like, you could, that could be a thing.
That's actually true.
We've had lots of ideas. There's some that we won't discuss on this podcast, but we've had a lot of interesting conversations about content creation. So
content creation. So obviously the short answer to can I be a content creator is yes. When do you start? Now. And
yesterday.
And how do I go about it? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's why
you have questions about it. You have any ideas that you want to learn about? Come to our YouTube, comment, and let us know what you want to see and what kind of questions you have, so we can forward those questions on to not just us,
but anyone we ask. We're gonna have people on here. We're gonna be interviewing people who have quit streaming, who have quit content creation, who are maybe just getting started, who maybe they're a year in or they're 2 years in and they're in the thick of it, right?
Yeah.
I would say, in terms of can you be a content creator, there's a few things, because I was watching a video today that I'll talk about here in a second, but there's a few things that you need to be prepared for. And a big part of that is your mental health is going to go through a lot of roller coasters through the process. Yeah. So you need to just be ready, because you're going to get negative comments on the internet. It's going to happen. Yeah. People are going to comment on this.
There are trolls out there.
People are going to comment on this podcast on YouTube, and they're going to have something negative to say. And guess what? That happens. People don't like content sometimes, and that's okay, because there's also people that do like content. So take everybody that's negative with a grain of salt. Don't let it get to you. That would be the first thing I would say, is be ready to face the negativity and use that negativity to make something better, because don't let people get you down. It's just not worth it.
My biggest thing, just on that really quick.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with negativity and the way that I dealt with it was, you have those trolls that come in and say completely absurd things, whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh,
get them out of your mind. Ban them. Drop the hammer.
People.
Make them go away.
Block people.
But then you're going to have those people that struggle to get a point across, that are just trying to help you.
Yeah.
And that's the way I looked at that. That's the way I had to do it, was I had to look at those comments as they don't know how to approach me. So because of that, they're doing it the best way they can. And I'm going to take that as constructive criticism. And I'm going to use that and maybe make my video a little different.
Yeah.
Or change this little thing about my stream. But I'm not going to let it affect me in a negative way, which is really hard to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier said than done.
Oh yeah. 100%. I was reminiscing. I found a clip on our Discord that I'd posted about my first hype train. And for those who don't know what a hype train is, if you stream on Twitch and hopefully soon on YouTube, cross your fingers, live streamers on YouTube. When you stream on Twitch, you can get what's called a hype train, and every streaming platform has like their own kind of version of it, except for YouTube. Cross your fingers. Come on, YouTube, get it going. Let's do it. A hype train is when people donate money to you, whether it's in the form of subscribers or bits on Twitch, or monetary, actual money through tips or whatever
that site's, that site's.
Yeah. And so I got my first ever hype train in 2021 on Twitch. I'd hit affiliate. It was like less than a month after I hit affiliate on Twitch, meaning that I could finally actually get donations and get bits and those sorts of things. And I was watching the video of this like 16-minute clip of when the raid came in, the raiding party of people came in and started donating and following and subbing and gifting subs and all of that. And it was like, wow, I remember what that was like. And that was awesome. When I had this like community that was all about getting people to affiliate, which we can talk about that and the dangers of that. And we probably will at some point.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, those were such good times because I had so much fun with those people. And I still care about a lot of those people because, you know, we became friends, some of us. And I think about them all the time still because they made an impact on my life in helping me achieve something that I really wanted to achieve. And then I was like, man, it's not like that anymore. It's just not the same. Things have changed. A lot of them have moved on with their lives. They're not doing content creation as much or at all. And it was like a really weird, like roller coaster moment of like, wow, like there was a time where things were high and now things are like not as high as they were. And I'm back on YouTube for live streaming and I've moved away from Twitch for the moment. And so it was just one of those moments, you know, that if you're going to be a content creator, there's going to be those like really cool high moments. You got, you know, your TikTok went viral and you got 10,000 views and that's really exciting. But then you worked like really hard and spent 3 hours editing this thing that you made for TikTok and you put it on and then the algorithm's like, whatever. And you get like 10 views on it or something. That's going to happen. And it sucks. It really sucks when you work really hard to put something together and then the internet doesn't find it. And for TikToks, if that's the case, if it's TikTok, and I'm not going to say it's going to apply across the board, but for TikTok, that happened, re-upload the video. If it's been 3 months, whatever, just re-upload the video because sometimes the TikTok algorithm just needs a little bit of like, hey, remember this? You should try it again. Like I had a video that I posted 2 years ago that all of a sudden in the last month went from like 100 views to 12,000. And I'm like, well, I don't know why this video is randomly blowing up, but it is. Thanks a lot, TikTok. Like doesn't make any sense. So you got to be ready for that because content creation is all about, you're always worried about numbers, but you really shouldn't focus on the numbers because it's all about those people that you make an impact to. And those people that keep coming, people that come back to your channel, comment on a lot of your videos or whatever it is, or your posts. That's what's awesome about content creation is the like community part of it. And I think Snazzy and I are on the same page with that of like, we love the social aspect of content creation.
Yeah.
Because it just makes you feel like, wow, I got this cool community. I got these cool people and like, we're all passionate about the same thing or similar things. So that's my 20 cents on,
for me, it was
a content creator.
Yeah. For me, it was the getting people from different walks of life.
Yeah.
To be in each other's life as a support group, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I struggle with some pretty serious mental health stuff, and so it really gave me people to go to.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing.
Yeah. And
aside from, you know,
we're going to cover a lot on mental health throughout this because I guarantee you every person who creates content for longer than like 2 months is going through something or has or will.
Or has or will.
You're going to experience
the ups and
burnout.
downs.
Burnout, you'll hear that. That's a key term you'll probably hear a lot when we talk to people is burnout. People get burned out. People got to take breaks. And sometimes in content creation, you don't feel like you can take a break. And that gets rough. That gets really rough. But sometimes it's okay. You just step away for a minute and you come back when your head's cleared and try again.
Yeah, you got to do what you can to make sure you're staying healthy mentally, physically, all that stuff.
Yep. So you want to be a content creator, prepare for ups and downs, take care of your mental health. That's number one. Don't let numbers ruin your mental health because you don't need that.
Yeah.
Life's already enough of a struggle. You don't need to add to it by worrying about numbers. And someday everything will go the way you want, or it won't, and you'll have to try something different. And that's just part of content creation. It's a constantly revolving door. So just be ready for that.
Yeah. So that being said, I think that covers our topics for today.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to talk about.
You wanted to say?
The main thing I want to just end with here is that the whole point of our podcast, the whole point of why we're doing what we're doing is we want to hear from people that are creating content. So if you're that person, go ahead and send us a message or fill out our application that's on our YouTube page. And like, we want to be an anchor point for people to come to our community and get advice from other creators and learn from us. We'll be clipping things down and posting extra things on YouTube. That'll be kind of our central hub. And this podcast is obviously going to be available on all the major podcasting sites that we can get on. So if you're looking
pretty much
for
anywhere you can
search Streamers Unplugged, and if you see the battery that's almost out of energy, that's us. And hopefully we can help recharge your batteries and get you charged up and ready to go. So thanks, Nazi, for the conversation. And next time we'll be interviewing somebody, and we hope that all of you have enjoyed this episode of the podcast and enjoyed our kickoff, as it were, our pilot episode. We are super duper excited. We've been working really hard to get all this working and going, and we're really happy with where we're at. So we hope that you feel the same way, and you can drop us a follow or a subscription, whatever it is, whatever platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, it's subscriber. If it's on, I don't know what it's on all the podcast things. I'm sure everyone has a name for it, but give us a follow.
It's been a short period of time.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for listening, and we will be in touch with you very shortly.